Look, it's Monday. It's cold. I don't want to be here. I don't know why you're here, but we're here. Let's do it.
This is high-speed chess. That's what you're
Do
watching.
it.
Scariest guy in boxing right now. But now I got to be clear. Scary, I don't mean that they're scared,
Right.
which in boxing usually that's what it means. I mean who actually scares everybody else. Malik, we're going to start with you. You have been in the ring.
Yes.
You're a world-class trainer.
Yes.
Who is the scariest dude in boxing right now? Who's the boogeyman?
Oh, easy. Heavyweight division, Caballero.
Caballero's the boogeyman.
Absolutely. He's a nightmare. A nightmare to any heavyweight. They know that. You don't hear no one calling him out. Your hungriest heavyweight is not calling him out. But also speaking of that, he just got a fight today, and he's fighting Tony Yoka. And we're going to see how that go, right? So, but I just feel as though what makes him a nightmare is his consistent pressure. One thing that he does very well is go to the body with bad intention. He's the best body puncher in the game. He has the best chin probably in the heavyweight division. He has big wins on his record, and I just see him being a problem for any heavyweight in his style.
Yeah, that's a good
Very
point.
stubborn.
Because first you think, well, Tom is in the same division. He's scaring. A cop has reported about how managed.
Am I missing something on Caballero? I don't know, man. Caballero? He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter. He's a beautiful kid, right? I can't emphasize that enough. The boogeyman of heavyweight? Not of heavyweight, of the entire sport of boxing. You're telling me Agit Caballero is the boogeyman? I'm gonna go thumbs down on that one. Malik Scott, no. Best chin based on what? Based on what? It's the best chin is gonna be Alexander Usyk. It's gonna be Alexander Usyk, and then he said the best body puncher in all of boxing, based on what? Right? I sound like that one Ari Spears meme. Y'all know what I'm talking about? He's like, yo, this is legendary based on what? But look, real talk. No, it's not Caballero, guys. It's not. I don't think Caballero's the boogeyman. I don't think Caballero is anywhere close to being considered a boogeyman. He hasn't beat anybody. I don't think he strikes fear and terror up and down, the heavyweight division for me to just sit here and say that.
Jurors of top 10 fighters are like, I need retirement money for this because he might retire my dude. But when you combine the rugged chin with the punching power and the consistent pressure in the heavyweight division, that's a hell of an answer. Who do you got,
And
Cap?
Caballero, one of the best body punchers in the entire
Yeah, he
sport.
mentioned
Yes,
that was
a good one. That was a great
yes,
one.
yes,
He
yes.
said
Were you
hard.
listening
His
to Malik?
heart is big.
Were you listening
Yeah,
to Malik? Malik said body puncher. He actually
Leave him alone, Mac.
he had a point to say body puncher.
And I say one of the best body punchers.
That's right.
Oh, I see.
Different.
I see. So you're
Like,
smart.
I'm
Who
adding
do you
on.
have? Who's
I'm
your
adding
boogeyman? Who's your boogeyman?
I'm going with David Benavidez. Yes,
Ooh.
people do want to fight him, but they only fight him because Benavidez is one of the biggest stars in boxing, and he brings major capital with fighting him. But otherwise, no one will be fighting this guy. Talk about volume, big-time punching power, and he puts a beating on his opponents. I mean, Caleb Plant's a quality guy. He will bring it on, and he will punch with power late in the fight. David Benavidez.
It's Monday. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. David Benavidez, the boogeyman of boxing. No, he's not. He doesn't strike enough fear in guys. It's like, yeah, he had that monstrous aura towards him at 168, but at 175, yes, he beat Vosdik, the nail pretty decisively. He beat a David Morrell pretty decisively. If I had to be honest about David, that aura's left him a bit. Not saying he's not a monster. He's a great kid as well. Right? He's very young. He's very active. And the thing I like about David is he's young. He fights a young man style. Right? He's not, inactive, sitting on the ropes. He's not throwing single shots. He fights his age. Right? And I will admit, he's a pretty scary fighter. There's still a lot of question marks about him. And I think that kind of adds on to some of, that, I'm not going to say monstrous aura because I feel like he's lost it. But it adds on to some of his, mystique to a degree. Those question marks kind of leave it in the air. Like, how good is this kid? We don't know quite yet. I think that's what kind of gets him in this list to a degree. But no, the boogeyman of boxing, I would say no. He doesn't generate enough knockouts. And I'm not saying that is what makes a boogeyman, but there are some guys who generate more knockouts. They've generated a lot more scarier fights and performances before I could say David Benavidez is the number one guy. I'd probably have him top 5. He's a great kid. He's wonderful. Why not? We all love David.
Benavidez, and he's just getting started.
I'm not mad at that pick at all.
That's a good one.
At all. You know why,
at
too?
all.
There's one fighter. Canelo Alvarez was fighting everyone from the age he was 15. The dude never said no to anyone. He fought Floyd early, yes, for a big money fight. Austin Trout and Erislandy Lara were not big money fights, right?
He fought them.
He was not. Canelo would fight everyone. However, it is fair to say he ducked one fighter. They were in the same division. It was his number one contender. He never got in with Benavidez. That's the only dude Canelo ever ducked in his entire career.
Oh, okay, I get that. 100%. I think Canelo did duck Benavidez. I think he didn't show much interest in fighting Benavidez for a very clear, evident manner, right? If you want to go and play into the ducking and the business and politics of boxing, you know what? We're gonna save it later in the video.
He don't acknowledge him. That's a good one.
And I believe, I've always believed it's because Canelo was like, if I'm going to pass the torch as the face of Mexican boxing, Mexican American, whatever, but like, you know, that is recognized by Mexican American fans, maybe toward the end of my career. He didn't, and he looked at Benavidez and thought,
I agree with that.
that's a lot.
Not.
Yeah. So that's a great pick.
I need some more smoke for this one, though, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Come on, Shady, let's go.
Now, y'all's is like really, really good, right?
Yeah.
Physical, tough, right?
Right.
Body shots and all that. David
hard.
Benavidez hit hard. I'm going with Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah. Shakur. Yeah.
Shakur.
Okay.
Shakur Stevenson.
You want Shador to start now?
Right,
Is that what it is?
Look, I'm just talking about the young guys taking over the game.
Yeah,
You know?
okay, all right.
And this is the reason why. First of all, Shakur, he wanted to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney,
No, he didn't. Maybe he did, but he declined it.
he moved up. He didn't want to fight him. Okay, cool. I don't know how that worked, but he didn't fight him. Then we go to Tank Davis. If you say Tank Davis' name, right, to Shakur, I want to fight him. If you say Shakur's name to Tank Davis, he don't even respond to. He don't even acknowledge it. Okay, Lomachenko, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to fight Lomachenko, and he decided to retire.
Yeah.
And then Isaac Cruz, he wanted to fight Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz's father said, you know what? We're not going to fight Shakur because he's going to move around too much. We want to chase him around. I think the thing what makes him a boogeyman is because it ain't about with the power and all that. It's about I'm going to embarrass you and I'm going to beat you.
Humiliation.
That is
Yes.
a great pick because no one wants to fight Shakur
They don't.
Stevenson. And by the way, you know me and Pernell Whitaker, right?
Yes.
Like what you hear, this is the giveaway. He has an awkward style. What you mean he has an awkward style? I mean he's going to beat you? Is that what you mean by he has an awkward style? You can't beat him and you don't want to lose? You don't
There's
want
one
to
man
lose.
who wants to fight him, and that's Teofimo Lopez.
But man, Teofimo wants that.
Tio don't want to fight Shakur. He's saying that. He's kind of implying that. But if he really had all interest in fighting Shakur, this fight would have been made. It's still up in the air. I don't even think it's gonna happen.
That smoke, man. I mean,
the
that's
contract is it signed yet, Mike?
We were still waiting for
They're
it to
in
get signed.
talks.
I'm saying we've been talking.
But Tio was the guy who stepped up and fought Lomachenko.
But he's
When no one wanted to fight
different.
Lomachenko.
But Tio's different than anybody else.
different. That's
Tio
a
will
good
fight
pick.
anybody.
But however, I will say this. Now it is my turn. I'm going to give you guys the answers. They're all good questions.
Okay, let's talk about Shakur Stevenson for a second, because I did my tier list of some of the scariest fighters, and me and Shady, for once, we finally see kind of eye to eye, right? When you talk about Caballero, Benavidez, these guys are more stalking, pressure, right? I'm a big horror guy. You got your Jason, you got your Michaels, and you know your good stuff, your Leatherface, your Pinheads, and stuff like that. But when you're talking about Shakur Stevenson, we're looking at more of a. You guys ever watched The Collector? I like The Collector, right? You guys ever watch Creep? Creep was a good movie too. Very, very weird, interesting film. That's the type of horror Shakur Stevenson brings into the ring. Not more of a direct, physically imposing brute like a serial killer, but more of a John Kramer, more of a Saul, more of a methodical, I'm going to get to you, not quite directly, but maybe in a different manner, but I still believe it's just as terrifying. I would have to agree with Shady.
All good answers, but I'm going to give you the right answer now. See, because there is something about being the boogeyman, Shady, that means he's also going to hurt you. So I like all your answers, but the actual answer is, and no one's thinking about this guy as the boogeyman anymore because he lost. But he's 41 years old and he lost, and still we heard Benavidez call him out because Benavidez is that dude. But Artur Beterbiev is actually the boogeyman in boxing. This dude is the scariest fighter in boxing.
That's true.
He will beat your brakes off in order to come away with one official win. Better BF's 41. He's 41.
And that's why it is crazy to me when Bivol.
Okay, now it's time for my pick. But we're going to watch it a bit more. Maybe they talk about my pick and I can kind of butt in there, but we'll see.
Was not included with Inoue, Crawford, and Usyk. We're talking about the pound for pound. He belongs in that category.
Well, the thing is that I disagree with that. I love Bivol, but he is 41. If Crawford is fighting a 41-year-old, I wanted to put it on him. I wanted to put it on him.
He beat Canelo too.
He did beat Canelo.
Dominated
Bivol
Canelo.
is excellent, but I want to talk about Better BF. Better BF is not just the boogeyman still at 41. He's been the boogeyman since he was an amateur in the Russian system.
I think I'm going to have to go with you all the way. I'm going to go with Benavidez even over my pick now, because now think about how Max is talking about Beterbiev,
and
right?
Benavidez called him out.
And Benavidez is hawking him. He's chasing him.
I get that. I really try to keep it PG on here, but do I want to cuss today? I don't know. I 100% get that. Benavidez is a dog. He's a lion. He's chasing down anybody. How do I put this without cussing? He's going to get himself an ass whooping. He's going to walk himself into an ass whooping, right? You can be a dog. I love Haney. Haney's my guy. Bill and Dev. But his dog-like mentality was going to get him a very severe case of whooping, right? So when we see Devin Haney, he's tracking down a Boots Ennis. We know Haney can't beat Boots. Like I said, I love the Haneys dearly. Those are my guys. But he was walking into a whooping. And it's the same thing with Benavidez. He's all bark. And I'm not saying that bark has no bite behind it, because he's a great fighter. Same with Haney. There is some bite behind it. But you could be chasing a whooping. You guys ever watch One Piece when Ace was chasing Blackbeard through the Grand Line, and what happened to Ace, right? All right, we go all over the place today. Like I said, it's Monday. We having fun though.
But
He's calling him out.
He's crazy.
But
He's
I don't
crazy in
know.
the best way.
Benavidez is the boogeyman.
I don't know if
Mike was right, man.
I don't know if is that partly because Better BF, a little of the shine is off because he's 41
No, we ain't
and he
gonna do
just
that.
lost
Right.
to Bivol?
No.
Is it because Benavidez is just that dude?
He's gangster like that, man. He is gangster like that.
But what we're saying is he's so gangster, Benavidez, that he will call out the boogeyman.
And let's not forget, Benavidez
But he's calling out the boogeyman.
Let's not forget though, Max. Also, Benavidez called out another boogeyman and David Morrell. No one was trying to fight David Morrell.
Absolutely not.
David Morrell wasn't no boogeyman. He was coming off the hot rod. I'm not gonna say hot rod loss, but he was coming off the whole hot rod situation. He wasn't no boogeyman.
Yeah,
That's true.
Morrell has some of the stuff also.
right, Mike.
I'm not saying
That's right,
Shakur
baby.
Stevenson, but do I want to fight that guy? No one really wanted to fight him.
Yeah.
I know. I think these are all interesting picks. Shakur is a hell of a pick.
Telling you now.
But he's not going to beat you up the way the other dude's going to beat you up.
But the boogeyman's like, I don't want to fight. That's what that means. I don't want to fight this guy.
No one is going to argue with any of our picks just now.
And the
Everyone
thing
will get it.
about Benavidez is, I think the strongest case for Benavidez is.
Okay. Some great picks here. We had Mr. David Benavidez. We had Malik Scott and my boy Cop go with Benavidez. Then we had Artur by Mr. Max Kellerman, brilliant mind of his own. And then we had Shady go with Shakur. Like I said, I don't agree with Shady most times, but this time I'd agree. I think Shakur deserves to be mentioned. I wouldn't say he's number one or even in the top 5, but I think he does deserve to be mentioned. But the actual correct answer is Snowy Inoue. It's the obvious answer. It's the most evident answer. It's so obvious you don't want to mention it. And that's why he is the boogeyman, right? You ever talk about you say what's the best superhero film? And there's some movies that are so obvious you don't mention it first, right? Well, obviously like Infinity War. That's just the most obvious answer. Not saying it's the best. I really did enjoy Logan. The Watchmen was pretty cool. I wish they would have did better with that one. But it's so obvious you don't mention them. Right. So when you have a Noya in a way, there is this element of humiliation, just like Mr. Shakur Stevenson. So there is this element of humiliation to where he can absolutely sit in the mid-range or on the outside and jab your nose into your skull. That is always on the table. That is always an option with Naoya in a way. Or he could maybe back himself, to the ropes with his high guard and just beat you to the punch because he's way faster than you and he's an amazing, terrific counterpuncher. Or he could just go in there and brawl with you, kind of fight your own fight, let you hit you a bit, or he'll let you hit him a bit. He'll give it back to you way harder, way faster, pause. Or he could just go in there and just be the monster. Just do all of that at once. So if we're talking about humiliation, what he did to Stephen Fulton was humiliating. Or if we're talking about devastating knockout power, what he did to Michael Desmarinas, what he did to Donaire in that second fight was devastating. I believe Naoya Inoue is the fight nobody really wants, especially if there's no money on the table. Obviously, Naoya is a bit of a star now, so he's going to be getting a lot more offers. But when you look at Naoya's career, go to BoxRec, go to Fight Facts, go wherever you please. Naoya Inoue had to skip from 112, I believe, to he skipped 112. I think he went straight to 115, right? So he went 108, skipped 12, 15, 18, undisputed, 22, undisputed. Why did he skip 12? They didn't want to fight him. Right? Even today, what's my boy's name? Casemiro didn't want to fight him. You have my boy Sam Goodman. Sam Goodman was offered tons of money, tons of contracts. He was the IBF mandatory, didn't want to fight him. So the guy is a money fight and he's still being ducked. Benavidez isn't quite that money fight and he's being ducked. So when you're a money fight, when you're the star of a division and they still don't want to fight you, that tells me a lot. Like I said, these guys had some really great picks. They had some really good picks today. We had a nice fun video. We went off topic a lot, but I hope I got my point across. Naoya Inoue would be my pick for boxing's boogeyman. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.